5 signs you're stuck in the mental prison of low vibration. There's a prison that billions of people are trapped in right now, and the worst part, most don't even realize they're locked inside. It's not made of steel bars, it's not guarded by walls, and yet it is the most dangerous kind of prison because it exists entirely in the mind. This is the mental prison of low vibration, a state of being where you are stuck in cycles of negativity, stagnation, and limitation without even knowing it. You feel like you're making choices, like you're in control of your life, but in reality, your thoughts, emotions, and energy are being dictated by unseen forces, your past conditioning, your fears, your subconscious patterns that you've never questioned. And the scariest part, this prison can become so familiar that it feels like home. But today we're going to expose it. We're going to shine a blinding light on this invisible cage so that you can see the bars for what they truly are, illusions. And once you see them, you will have a choice. You can stay locked inside, pretending that this is just how life is, or you can break free and step into a reality so expansive, so limitless, that you will look back at your old self and wonder how you ever lived that way. But first, you need to recognize the signs. Because if you don't even know you're in a prison, how will you ever escape?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The first sign is emotional heaviness that never seems to go away. You wake up already feeling drained, as if a weight is pressing down on you even before the day begins. It's not just sadness or stress, it's a constant, low-grade exhaustion that seeps into everything. The things that used to excite you no longer spark joy. You find yourself living on autopilot, going through the motions but never truly feeling alive. And here's the dangerous part, you start to normalize it. You tell yourself, this is just adulthood, or this is just how life is. But no, this is not normal. This is the vibration of stagnation, of being trapped in a reality that is too small for your soul. And where does this heaviness come from? It comes from unprocessed emotions, suppressed truths, and energy that has been stuck in your system for far too long. Every time you ignored your intuition, every time you silenced your inner voice, every time you settled for something less than what you truly wanted, a piece of your energy got locked away. Over time, these unexpressed emotions become a dense fog, clouding your perception, making everything feel dull and lifeless. You start to forget what it even feels like to be light, to be free, to be fully present. But ask yourself, what if this heaviness isn't who I am? What if I've just been carrying something that was never mine to begin with? The second sign is living in a constant loop of the past and future, never truly in the now. Your mind either drifts back to regrets, mistakes, and old wounds, or it rushes forward into anxiety about what's to come. Either way, you are never fully here. And this is not an accident, this is how the mental prison works. It keeps you locked in time, disconnected from the only place where your true power exists, the present moment. I think about it. If you were completely present, if you were fully aware of the now, you would feel your own energy, your own life force, vibrating within you. You would recognize that you are not your past, you are not your worries, you are something much greater. But the prison doesn't want you to remember that. It wants to keep you distracted, lost in thought, so that you never wake up to your own power. And the most dangerous part, this mental loop convinces you that you are your thoughts, that the voice in your head narrating your fears and doubts is actually you. But what if that voice is just an echo of your conditioning? What if it's not actually you, but a program that was installed by society, by trauma, by past experiences? And if that's true, then the real question is, who are you beyond your thoughts? This is where the prison starts to crack. When you begin questioning the reality you've been living in, when you start to feel that maybe, just maybe, there is something beyond this low vibrational state, the walls start to shake. But the prison will fight back. It will try to keep you inside by making you doubt yourself, by making you feel small, by flooding your mind with reasons why change is impossible. And this is where most people give up. They sense that something is wrong, they get glimpses of a higher reality, but they don't push through. They let the fear win. They stay locked inside. But you are not here to stay trapped. You are here to wake up. You are here to break free. And in the next part, we will go even deeper, exposing the hidden forces that keep people stuck in low vibration and, more importantly, how to escape. But before we go there, I want to ask you something. What if everything you believe about yourself, your limitations, your struggles, your identity was just a story? And what if you could rewrite it? The hidden chains, how your own mind becomes your biggest prison guard. The greatest trick of the mental prison is that it convinces you the walls are real, that the limits you feel are not just perceptions but absolute truths. And once you believe that, you don't even try to escape. You stay in the same patterns, the same emotions, the same struggles, not because you are incapable of change, but because a part of you has accepted this as your reality. But let me ask you something. Who told you that you had to live this way? Who taught you that life was supposed to be a battle, that happiness was something to be earned, that peace was something distant, reserved for those who are lucky or enlightened? Because I promise you this, the only thing keeping you in low vibration is the belief that you belong there. The mind is the prison, but it is also the prison guard. It doesn't just lock you in, it justifies why you should stay. It whispers to you that you are not ready, that you are not worthy, that breaking free is too hard, too risky. And so, you settle. You stay in relationships that drain you, jobs that suffocate you, routines that numb you, all because the mind convinces you that stepping into the unknown is more dangerous than staying in suffering. But is that really true? Or is it just fear masquerading as logic? Fear is the foundation of low vibration. It is the invisible chain that wraps around every thought, every decision, every dream. It keeps you small, convincing you that playing it safe is the right thing to do. But let's expose this lie right now. Playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do, because safety in this context is just another word for stagnation. And stagnation is death in slow motion. Every time you let fear stop you from taking action, from speaking your truth, from chasing what excites you, you are letting a piece of yourself wither away. And if you do that long enough, you wake up one day and realize that you are only half-olive breathing, existing, but not truly living. This is why so many people feel empty, lost, disconnected. They are not lacking purpose, they are lacking courage. They are waiting for permission to be free, to be happy, to be themselves. But let me tell you something that will shatter this illusion forever. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to unlock the door, because the door was never locked to begin with. The only thing keeping you trapped is the belief that you are trapped. And once you see that, the prison loses its power. But breaking free requires a radical shift. It requires you to stop identifying with the thoughts that keep you small. The mind will throw 1,000 reasons at you why you can't, why you shouldn't, why it won't work, but you must understand that those thoughts are not you. They are echoes of past conditioning, old fears trying to protect you from a danger that doesn't even exist. The real danger is not stepping into the unknown. The real danger is staying in a life that doesn't align with your soul. So how do you break free? How do you shift from low vibration to high vibration when everything feels heavy, when fear is screaming at you to stay put? The answer is presence. The prison of the mind only exists when you are lost in thought, when you are replaying the past or fearing the future. But when you bring your awareness fully into this moment, something incredible happens. The chains loosen. The fear shrinks. The mind quiets. And in that space you realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that witnesses them. You are not your fears. You are the vast, limitless presence that exists beyond them. And this is where the shift begins. The moment you stop reacting to the prison starts to dissolve. You begin to see that the things keeping you stuck, negative beliefs, toxic relationships, draining environments, are not unchangeable. They only seem that way because you were looking at them through the lens of limitation. But now you are waking up. Now you are starting to remember that you are not meant to live in a cage. You are meant to expand, to create, to experience life in its fullest expression. But before we move forward, I need to ask you something, a question that could change everything if you truly sit with it. What would you do right now if you had no fear? If you weren't afraid of failure, of judgment, of the unknown, what would you pursue? Who would you become? Because the answer to that question is the key to your escape. And in the next part, we will go even deeper, breaking down the final barriers that keep people stuck and revealing the exact steps to shift into a higher vibration. But for now, just hold on to this truth: you were never trapped. You were only ever asleep. And now it's time to wake up. The energy drain, how your environment and habits keep you stuck in low vibration. Now that you understand the mental prison and the way fear holds you captive, it's time to confront another truth, one that most people ignore or underestimate. The fact is, your vibration is not just affected by your thoughts. It is also deeply shaped by your environment, your habits, and the energy you surround yourself with every single day. And if you are not consciously choosing high vibrational influences, then by default, you are absorbing low vibrational ones. This is where so many people unknowingly sabotage themselves. They do the inner work, they start to wake up, they begin to see beyond their old limitations, but then they stay in the same toxic environments, surrounded by the same draining people, repeating the same low-energy routines. And they wonder why nothing changes. The truth is, vibration is contagious. Everything carries an energetic frequency: places, people, conversations, even the media you consume. And if you are constantly exposing yourself to low vibrational energy, it doesn't matter how much meditation you do, how many affirmations you repeat, or how many spiritual books you read, you will still feel stuck. Because you are trying to elevate yourself while being weighed down by the very things that keep you in the prison. Have you ever noticed how some places make you feel drained the moment you walk in? Or how certain people leave you feeling exhausted after just a short conversation? That is not your imagination, that is energy. And if you are not careful, you will spend your entire life absorbing negativity that isn't even yours, mistaking it for your own, and wondering why you never feel truly free. One of the biggest energy drains is toxic relationships, the people who keep you stuck in the same patterns, whether they realize it or not. These are the friends who only talk about problems but never solutions. The family members who project their fears and limitations onto you. The co-workers who gossip, complain, and radiate negativity. And the most dangerous part, you might feel obligated to keep these connections because of history, because of guilt, because you don't want to be alone. But let me ask you, if you were trying to break free from a prison, would you keep company with those who are committed to staying inside? Or would you align yourself with those who have already escaped? This doesn't mean you have to cut people off in anger. But it does mean you need to start protecting your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. If a relationship is constantly draining you, if you leave interactions feeling worse than before, if you find yourself shrinking around certain people to avoid conflict, then you need to ask yourself, why am I allowing this energy into my life? Because every time you engage in low vibrational conversations, Every time you entertain drama, every time you absorb someone else's negativity, you are reinforcing the very prison you are trying to escape. And it's not just people, it's also your daily habits. The things you do every day either raise or lower your vibration, and most people are completely unconscious of this. The food you eat, the music you listen to, the content you consume, the way you spend your mornings and nights, these are not small things. These are the foundations of your energy. If you start your day mindlessly scrolling through social media, absorbing fear-based news, filling your mind with content that promotes comparison, anxiety, and lack, then you are setting yourself up for a low-vibration reality before the day even begins. And yet, so many people do this without questioning it. But what if, instead, you took control of your energy from the moment you wake up? What if, before checking your phone, you spent 5 minutes in silence, in gratitude, in conscious breathing? What if you fed your mind with wisdom instead of negativity? What if you deliberately chose to engage only in conversations that uplift, inspire, and challenge you to grow? These are not just small changes, these are the shifts that determine whether you remain in low vibration or rise above it. And then, there's your physical space. Your environment is a direct reflection of your energy, and if your surroundings are cluttered, chaotic, or uninspiring, then that energy seeps into your mind and body. Have you ever noticed how different you feel in a clean, open, peaceful space versus a messy, stagnant one? That's because energy needs to flow. When your space is cluttered, your mind is cluttered. When you hold on to things that no longer serve you, you are subconsciously reinforcing stagnation in your life. And this applies not just to physical objects, but to everything: your routines, your beliefs, your attachments. If you want to raise your vibration, you must clear out what is not aligned with the person you are becoming.
This is where most people resist. They want change, but they don't want to let go. They want to be free, but they keep holding on to the very things that are keeping them in chains. But you cannot rise while clinging to dead weight. You cannot step into a new reality while keeping one foot in the old. You must choose. And that choice is not a one-time event. It is something you must reaffirm every single day. So ask yourself this: what in my life is draining my energy? What am I allowing into my space, my mind, my body, that is keeping me in low vibration? And most importantly, am I willing to let go of what no longer serves me? Because if you are not willing to release, you are choosing to remain in the prison. But if you are ready, if you are truly ready, then in the next part, we will take the final step. We will go beyond just awareness and into action, into the exact methods to shift into high vibration and stay there. Because escaping the prison is one thing, but learning how to live in freedom is another. The Great Escape: how to permanently shift into a high vibrational life. Now that you've seen the prison for what it is, the mental traps, the invisible chains of fear, the energy drains disguised as normal life, you are faced with a choice. You can do what most people do: nod in agreement, feel a spark of motivation, and then slowly slip back into the same patterns. Or you can do something different. You can decide right now that you are done living in low vibration, that you will no longer allow fear, conditioning, or external influences to dictate your reality, that you will step fully into the life that has been waiting for you all along. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear: escaping the prison is not a single breakthrough moment. It is not one meditation, one realization, one act of courage. It is a daily commitment, a complete rewiring of how you think, act, and exist. And if you are serious about this, if you are truly ready to shift, then you must embrace radical change. The first step is mastering your mind. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality, and if you do not take control of them, they will take control of you. Most people live as slaves to their own minds, believing every thought that arises, reacting to every emotion, trapped in endless loops of negativity and doubt. But you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And the moment you realize that, you gain power over them. Start paying attention to what your mind tells you throughout the day. Notice the patterns. How often do you think in limitations? How often do you assume the worst? How often do you let self-doubt dictate your actions? The mind is a tool, but an untrained tool will sabotage you. The key to shifting into high vibration is not about forcing yourself to think positively all the time. It's about becoming aware of the thoughts that lower your vibration and choosing not to engage with them. When a negative thought arises, instead of feeding it with emotion, simply observe it and let it pass. The more you do this, the weaker those thoughts become. And soon your mind becomes your ally instead of your enemy. But mastering the mind is only the beginning. You must also elevate your energy. Energy is everything. It influences how you feel, how you attract, how you move through the world. And if you want to maintain a high vibration, you must make energy management your priority. This means moving your body daily because stagnant energy leads to stagnant emotions. It means being mindful of what you consume, not just food, but the music you listen to, the conversations you engage in, the media you absorb. It means spending time in nature because nothing recalibrates your frequency like the earth itself. And most importantly, it means surrounding yourself with high vibrational people, those who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, who reflect the energy you wish to embody. If you continue to engage with people and environments that drain you, no amount of meditation or affirmations will save you. Energy is contagious, so choose wisely. Then comes the most powerful shift of all, living in alignment. Most people suffer not because life is hard, but because they are living out of alignment with their true selves. They are forcing themselves into jobs that kill their spirit, relationships that don't nourish them, lifestyles that go against their nature. This misalignment creates resistance, and resistance lowers vibration. If you want to break free permanently, you must start listening to your intuition, to your excitement, to the quiet knowing within you that has been trying to guide you all along. Stop ignoring the parts of you that crave something more. Stop settling for what is comfortable when your soul is screaming for expansion. If something in your life feels wrong, it is wrong. Trust that and have the courage to act on it. But here's the part no one talks about. Shifting into high vibration will test you. The moment you decide to break free, life will challenge you. Old fears will resurface. People around you might resist your growth. You may even experience moments of doubt where it feels easier to go back to the familiar. This is the final test of the prison. It wants to pull you back in, but this time you must not let it. You must stand firm in your decision. You must remind yourself that discomfort is temporary, but freedom is forever. And if you push through, something extraordinary happens. The prison dissolves completely. You realize that the chains were never real, that the limits were always an illusion. And with that realization, you step into a new world, a world where you are no longer surviving, but truly living. So the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to stop making excuses? Are you ready to take full responsibility for your energy, your choices, your life? Because no one else can do this for you. No one is coming to rescue you. The door to the prison is open, but only you can walk through it. And once you do, everything changes. You will feel lighter, freer, more alive than you ever thought possible. You will attract opportunities, relationships, experiences that reflect your new vibration. You will wake up excited because life is no longer something to endure, it is something to create. This is what awaits you on the other side. And all you have to do is decide. So what will you choose? Will you stay in the prison pretending that the bars are real? Or will you step into the unknown, into freedom, into the highest version of yourself? The choice is yours, and whatever you decide will shape the rest of your life, because low vibration is not just a state of being, it is a choice. And today, right now, you have the power to choose differently. Now go. Walk through the open door and never look back.